Hello and welcome to a bonus book review, and today I would like to talk to you about Clowns vs. Spiders by Jeff Strand. This particular edition that I'm showcasing here in the video is the signed limited edition from Thunderstorm Books that is fully sold out, but I will give you more details about this edition after we talk about the book itself. And, well, with a title of Clowns vs. Spiders, you kind of know what you're going to get jumping right in. You're expecting some scary clowns versus some evil and terrifying spiders, and you are going to get that. Except that the clowns in this novel are actually the good guys. This actually follows Jaunty and his ragtag pal of clowns, including their leader Guffaw, Bluehead, Reginald, and Wagon, who find themselves out of work. The circus isn't quite what it used to be. So they find themselves very reluctantly a job as scary clowns in the haunted house Mountain of Terror, in the clown room of the Mountain of Terror in Virginia. Unbeknownst to them and the other attendees and the patrons of the Mountain of Terror, there is a cave nearby that is the home of an entire army of very overgrown, very angry spiders that have been sitting in wait for almost 100 years. And, well, once these spiders get unleashed upon the town, it becomes every man and every clown for themselves, and very quickly devolves into the titular Clowns versus Spiders battle that you are going to get in the title. If you are not familiar with Jeff Strand, he is the clown prince of horror himself. He is very good at balancing the terror and the disgusting and the graphic with comedic writing, and he does it exceptionally well. And that is actually very strong and very, very present within Clowns vs. Spiders here. He is deftly and easily bouncing between, honestly, creepy chapters of the spiders having their ways. That sounds wrong. Half of these spiders going to town on these townsfolk, but he's always able to undercut the most horrific scenes with some funny banter between the clowns and the people they encounter. He's got a very literal sense of humor. He uses a lot of dialogue where characters are literally correcting what is literally happening, and dealing with the sense of language in that sense, if that makes sense. He handles it well. You need to go in expecting this to be like a B movie. Picture your Eight-Legged Freaks. Picture your Sharknado, which is probably not the best example because Sharknado, I think, was direct-to-TV. Eight-Legged Freaks got an actual theatrical release, but I mean, this is as crazy as Sharknado and as B-movie-esque as Eight-Legged Freaks. And what a fun ride it is. It's a very short read, if you couldn't tell by just how slim this volume is. Now, this is the Thunderstorm edition, which does have the larger trim size. So you're actually getting it just under 185 pages here, or actually just under 190, I should say. Whereas I believe the trade edition might add a couple more pages onto it. One of the only downsides that I had with this novel is that as the novel progresses, he kind of nerfs the spiders in a way. The spiders are downright creepy. They're I do not suffer from arachnophobia. I have no problem with spiders, but man, they get under your skin. They get you the creepy crawlies, if you will, especially in the early chapters. But as the chapters progress, I felt like the spiders weren't as intimidating or weren't as dangerous as they were in the early chapters. That could be a matter of they're more dispersed. I mean, think of them as being more, numerous in those early chapters as they really kind of converge on their targets, whereas the later chapters, they're more spread out over this small Virginia town. So maybe that's why they seem to be less threatening. Not to say there isn't any danger in these last chapters. I mean, no, the final act does feature, in true B-movie fashion, a final boss of sorts, a big baddie, without revealing too much, where there's definitely, a heightened sense of tension within that final act. But unfortunately, it didn't quite keep me as edge of my seat as those early chapters were. And it's not to say those last chapters are bad by any means. It was still a very fun ride. It just, it almost felt like, to a degree, Strand did take his foot off the gas a little bit. But like I said, that's not too much of a criticism, because if you enjoyed those early chapters, you're still going to enjoy the later chapters. I will say the ending is very quick and abrupt. I mean, you kind of, you do have closure. You do have closure on the novel itself, followed by a very quick epilogue to just kind of wrap stuff up. But that's nothing new to Jeff Strand. I mean, the way this man writes, he is pumping out novel after novel after novel. He's got to wrap it up quickly. You know what I mean? But I'm fine with that, because that just means there's more Jeff Strand novels to be read afterwards. So if you're looking for a fun creature feature, if you suffer from fear of clowns, what is fear of clowns? If you suffer from fear of clowns, if you suffer from arachnophobia, this is probably the novel for you. If you enjoy those B-movie, like I said, think of Eight-Legged Freaks, think of Sharknado, think of Balls to the Wall, just chaos and madness and just makes no damn sense, Clowns vs. Spiders is for you. This particular edition might not be the one for you, because this edition is fully sold out. This might cost you a pretty penny on the secondary market. It was limited to only 60 numbered copies. My copy is actually a PC copy. This is LH, which belongs to Lee Haig. He's actually the interior designer, so there's his name right there. But it is signed by Jeff Strand, which is really cool. It is a little bit different than Thunderstorm's normal publications. This was part of a line called the Verses line. So normally with Thunderstorm, you don't have the title on the spine. You have a black bonded leather with the title boxed in on the cover. You might have the name and author on the spine here. Instead, the actual binding reminds me of their Splatter Western hardcovers, except with a much larger trim size. But they had a very similar binding for those. But of course, you get the very, very nice and beautiful end papers as well, which is status quo. It is the norm for Thunderstorm books. I mean, it is a very fancy edition indeed, especially with the color printing throughout. You get the little cover artwork on each chapter. But the novel itself is self-published by Jeff Strand, so if you don't want to spend crazy dollars on the hardcover, you can go to Jeff Strand's website, link in the description below, and pick up the paperback for yourself. I believe paperbacks that are purchased from him through his website are signed and can even be personalized, so you can even add an extra level onto this hardcover. Instead of having it just signed, you can have it signed to you. But yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be difficult to pick up a copy of the paperback if you want to check it out. If you are a Jeff Strand fan, you probably have already read this, but if you haven't, I highly encourage you to. I mean, Jeff Strand is a very, very fun horror author. A little bit of comedy, a little bit of splatterpunk, all wrapped into one package, and you can't go wrong if you like that combination. So anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I do at least one book review a week on Tuesdays, with plenty of unboxing videos in between here and there. Check out Jeff Strand. Check out Thunderstorm Books. If the type of book here is appealing to you, just know that a lot of their titles do sell out pretty quickly. I mean, they do have a ton of titles available on the website right now, but many of the titles do sell out. I mean, go look at their back catalog and you will see just how many titles have sold out over the years. So it's something worth checking out. Like I said, it's a little bit on the pricier side, but you are getting nice, oversized novels for your more bang for your buck. If you want to see more Thunderstorm books in video format, I have a whole playlist of their unboxings on my channel that you can check out. So anyways, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you around next time.